Yes, it's going to be a new feature of Meares.
Featuring my dick. I said like 4 words in there that was inaudible. It just never even, it's just deviated septum I've created. Welcome to Mo Meares Show. I'm Mo.
Meares.
Week 17 playoff scenario edition, my favorite edition because we don't even do 4 games. We do all the scenarios.
And people need to pay attention because there are some crazy scenarios that could happen. And Mo and Meares are here to show you what's really going to happen.
Now it's time for picks.
Let's start with the NFC scenarios. It's pretty simple. We got 5 teams locked into the playoffs, and the last spot comes down to one of 2 teams, and they're playing each other.
Yeah, and they got flexed to Sunday Night Football.
Awesome.
So everybody in the United States can watch it.
It's not an NFL network, so you can.
Exactly. You got the Giants hosting the Cowboys. They just played 2 weeks ago where the Giants won on a last-second blocked field goal in Dallas Stadium. Here's what I like about this game. Romo busted up his hand against the Eagles. They say he's going to play. I have a hard time thinking he's going to be 100% with a busted-up hand, throwing hand. Giants have always come up big when it mattered at home to get into the playoffs. Give me the Giants to win this game and make me sick to my stomach at the end.
I think the real issue with Tony Romo's hand is how much does he jerk off during the week, and how much does it relax him for Sunday's game? Because if that's interfered with all week, he's going to be a little bit off. That, in addition to the fact that I will give Eli Manning the nod in a big game over Tony Romo until Tony Romo changes my mind, which he can do this week. Until then, before it happens, I will pick Eli Manning, and they will sneak into the playoffs and wreak havoc on nobody.
Love you, Mo Meares.
Unlike the NFC, the AFC has many more variables as far as what can happen. I see it starting with Baltimore traveling to Cincinnati. That kind of sets everything in motion.
It really does. And here's the problem. It's in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Baltimore's not traveling well this season. 3-4 on the road. They are going to go to 3-5 on the road, sub 500, because they are going to lose to the Bengals at home. The Bengals are going to stamp their ticket to the playoffs, along with 2 other AFC North teams, the Ravens and the Steelers. And the Bengals are going to win this game. Wild card, here I come.
So in that scenario, you would cover the top of the AFC as far as the Ravens having a chance not only to lose home field advantage, which they had last week, but now they become a wild card if Pittsburgh wins. Do you think Pittsburgh's going to beat Cleveland?
They're going to Cleveland. I don't see any reason why they don't. I mean, they got to play. It's not like they're going to sit people. Roethlisberger probably back this week. I like the Pittsburgh Steelers to go into Cleveland, take care of business, wrap up what could be possibly the 1 seed if New England doesn't win.
Do you think New England's going to win?
Great point. New England will win. They will beat Buffalo at home, lock up home field advantage throughout. Pittsburgh gets the 2, and that
leaves
New
England 1, Pittsburgh 2, Ravens 5, Bengals 6. Everything in between will be covered by my scenario.
Exactly.
Love you, Mo Meares.
So now, let's get to what you think is going to happen in the pivotal Ravens-Bengals game.
I actually have Baltimore to follow through this year and at least get the bye. Win their division over Pittsburgh. I would have liked to see them get home field, but I don't think that's going to happen either because I think New England's going to win. But give me the Ravens to win this game against Cincinnati and get that 2 seed.
Well, that makes the Bengals go back to their locker room and watch other games. First one we're going to do, Denver hosting Kansas City. Major playoff implications. What do you think there?
Kansas City the last 2 weeks has looked very good. Kyle Orton coming back into the Mile High City to try and shove a mile-high dick up Tim Tebow's Christian God ass. And I think it's going to happen because after last week in Buffalo, he was horrific. You can put a spin on whatever you want. It was Christmas, for Christ's sake. It was Christmas Eve. You don't get God on your side on Christmas. It's over. It's over. Give me Kansas City and Denver.
All right, well, that opens the door for the Raiders to possibly win the division. They're going to go down to San Diego and face the Chargers. What happens in this game?
Bitch face Phillip Rivers has nothing to play for. When he had something to play for, he had a bitch face, and he sucked. Give me nothing with Phillip Rivers. He's horrible. I don't care what Oakland brings to the table. They can bring me in my high school jersey to the table. Oakland's going to beat San Diego and win the West.
Wow, Oakland wins the West. Denver out of the playoffs. Now we're down to either Cincinnati, Tennessee, or the Jets. What do you think happens in the Tennessee at Houston game?
Houston is the third, they are locked into the third seed.
That is correct.
They have nothing to play for. They lost a coach to injury this week in the midweek. Their moms are getting hurt in the stands while they're watching the game. If they play any starters in this game, tell me why.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me why. Tennessee should get a walk on this because Houston just has to sit tight. And the only bad thing about it is, if Houston does sit tight and not play this game, there's a chance they're going to come back the next week and play the same team. That doesn't work out a lot, but I don't think Houston can risk. I think if they play starters, somebody might die. That's how the season's been for them.
Well, with that scenario, it comes down to either Tennessee or Cincinnati making that last wild card spot. It all hinges on the Jets at Miami. Jets, what do you think is going to happen in this game?
I saw the Jets 2 weeks ago in person, and I thought maybe that was just the Eagles being hot, and maybe they were like getting on a roll, and maybe they just stymied the Jets. And then for that game last week to even be close, Eli Manning came out and threw a shoe. He was terrible.
Oh, he was bad.
And the numbers were terrible, and they still managed to control the game. I think that point being the Jets are that bad. I think they will fold. I think the end of the Rex Ryan era is coming shortly. Mark Sanchez will become a footnote in any kind of history of anything. Miami will be playing for next year's jobs in their home stadium. They got hot a couple weeks ago. They've been competitive. Give me Miami to beat the Jets, and I don't even know what that leaves. What's that leave?
That leaves the Bengals to make the playoffs. So we actually picked the same team to make the playoffs in the last wild card spot. We just went at it at two completely different directions.
And if you play this video in reverse, we will actually say exactly what's going to happen in the Super Bowl. Because I have no idea what the scenarios, what's going on. But if you can follow anything that we just said, that's the actual scenarios.
I'll see you on Meares.
That's our Week 17 playoff scenario edition of Mullen Meares. I just want to say, I know it's Christmas, I know it's Hanukkah, I know we got Kwanzaa and Festivus coming up, but where the fuck are our comments?
Exactly. We put out their comment of the year. If you're the commenter of the year, you're going to win a Mullen Meares prize pack.
Your YouTube channel will blow up with at least 7 views if you get comment of the year.
Exactly.
We're
So
getting-
guess what? Comment right down there.
Down
Comment.
here, let's get thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
And
Subscribe.
then subscribe, do all that.
Facebook.com.
We got all information up here, but it's a call, like with 566 views.
Yeah, brutal, dude.
We're obviously not talking to people saying view us.
Exactly.
Tell your friends, man.
Tell your friends, comment, share, like, do anything.
You
Jesus.
just learned about the NFL and the scenarios tonight.